Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So I'm still under the weather, so I'm gonna just try to make my way through this deck profile the best I can without giving up on you guys. This is our ShineGreymon deck profile. This is a little bit more true to heart to how the deck is intended to be played, and not some like crazy wild tech of like a hybrid build or something like that. We've seen the yellow hybrid builds already. They're very cool. I didn't want to just like do something that's already been done though, that we've seen a whole bunch, and I tried to do a red hybrid deck profile with it, doing lots of really cool fun shenanigans, but it was trash. Okay, I can't even sugarcoat it. It was terrible, and I can't even, like, in good conscience put it out on the internet, so I decided to go with something a little bit more classic for you guys. Until we get next set, I have had a ton of fun playing this. I don't know if you saw the feature match where we played against Bagra, but literally this has been the most fun I played Digimon in, a decent bit of time. It's a great deck. I know it's supposed to get like absurdly powerful and ban worthy in the future, but right now and probably next set also are going to be just really fun times to play this deck, and I'm really excited for it. Also, don't forget this month's featured memory marker is Monimon. This is handmade out of clay by my wife, hand painted as well, all by Digimon. Her Etsy page is in the link description below. Great for a hunter's deck or just kind of really anything right now. A lot of decks, different decks right now are running Monimon, so definitely a one to pick up for sure. Also on her Etsy page is all of the other featured memory markers that we've had on the channel in the past, as well as she has updated several of them. So if you haven't been on there in a while, definitely go check that out. Also, if you're interested in ordering cards online, I suggest checking out cardtrader.com. They actually are an incredible site for ordering cards online, similar to TCG Player, but these guys cut down on your shipping cost. What they do is they gather all the cards from across the globe with whatever language you're looking for. They'll gather all of the cards you're wanting in their warehouse, and then you only pay for a single shipping cost to get all the cards that you're wanting, so shipped to you. And whether that's singles or sealed product doesn't matter. And then also, if you use my affiliate link in the description below there, you can actually get a free $2 to spend on anything you want just for signing up. And just for signing up, it helps support me on the channel, as well as whether you're ordering something or just signing up in general, I get a kickback, so it helps support the channel without even having to donate anything. So if you want to help support the channel, just go sign up for an account on cardtrader.com and check it out. I do think that getting all my shipping all under one single cost is really great, because that's one thing I do not like about tcgplayer.com is the fact that I have to pay for all these different shipping things. Even if it's for like a $2 card, I have to pay $1 shipping, or buying a 50-cent card and paying $1 for shipping always feels so bad. So here they'll just gather up all the cards in one place and then ship them to me for one cost. I am a big fan of cardtrader.com, so yeah, definitely go check them out. Please support the channel. Alright, so pulled up is the whole deck, so you can kind of follow along as we go here. We are at 50 cards right now, and some one-ofs and stuff like that I want to just at least talk about. You don't have to run them, or you can just pick which ones you would prefer to run, and then just kind of go with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this card by card for our babies here. We are going with the Draw 1 Koromon. This is pretty much a staple in a lot of Greymon based decks these days. It's just a really, really strong, fantastic card, just to help keep the consistency up. Consistency is like one of the best things, or one of the most powerful things in this game. And if your deck has a lot of consistency pieces, i.e. lots of draw power or lots of search power, then you're going to be in a really good position. Yeah, nothing else to say on that one. Next up, we got the new Agumon Zero Evo on top of Koromon, or else you'd have to pay one, which you do not want to do, so you gotta run some sort of Koromon. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add one Digimon card with Greymon in its name, and one Marcus among them to your hand. Place the rest on the bottom of your deck in order. That's really great. Fantastic searcher for the deck. You got to see your Marcuses. Marcus is like really, really pivotal. It's not just like, oh, if you see your memory fixer, that's really good. No. Like, the new Marcus is kind of pivotal for the strategy. It's so powerful that you cannot just like ignore it. Inheritable here, your turn once per turn. When one of your yellow or red Digimon becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2k for the turn. So a little bit of DP reduction, definitely some yellow shenanigans going on there. We also have this Agumon, and I should also specify the reason we're choosing the Agumons we are choosing specifically is because the new ShineGreymon says Digivolve for 2 from level 3 Agumon in a name and dinosaur trait. So you have to pick the Agumons that have the dinosaur trait. So we've got this one here from starter deck 7, just that 2k DP buff when it attacks a player. This one's been pretty popular staple to replace the promo one. If you can't afford the promo one, a lot of people have been running this one instead in like Greymon builds. But yeah, it's a dinosaur type, so we're gonna run it over the other one. Agumon X, funny enough, fantastic card, is a dinosaur type, and it's just Agumon in the name. So I did have to double check that it's Agumon in name and dinosaur trait. So yeah, Agumon X here, just the Wind Digivolve here. Either you can do this in Raising Area for just an extra draw, which is always solid, or you can go on top of one of your Agumons, say you hard play out the yellow-red one to get your search, then you can then Evo this one to search again. But just be cautious, because you're going to be able to add a Greymon, but nothing else off of this. So Digivolve, add a Greymon from the top 3. Don't do this one if you don't have your a Marcus yet. If you don't have one of the new Marcuses in rotation, don't do this, okay? Like, I see so many people say a deck is bad when they play it because they don't know like when to play things, when to play certain search cards, and then they just like, oh, I just bottom decked that. I needed that. Like, then why did you play that searcher if you needed that type of card and that searcher can't grab it? So, yeah, just kind of be cautious of those sort of things. And then rounding it out, because I did want 14 rookies. I just do feel more comfortable with that, even with Mulligan. We've got this one here. This one is the Digiburst one. If you get Digibursted away, you can add it to your hand. And funny enough, we are running a level 4 that Digibursts and a level 5 that Digibursts. So it actually synergizes really well with the deck. So a nice, easy one to round out the list. Now, you could like argue maybe swapping this one down to 2 and this one up to 4 if you wanted. Personal preference. I just like the 2k buff. And that's about it. So no ShineGreymon. Normally a 3 Evo cost. We'll never have to worry about this because all the Evo targets we have fit the criteria for this, which is, I think, very important. And then when Digivolving, if you don't have a Marcus in play, you may play one Marcus from your hand without paying cost. Okay. This is the best one of these in the entire set. Because, okay, we've got the regular Greymon that plays out the tie, right? But if you already have a tie, it's worthless. If you, who else do we have? We have the Growlmon that plays out the Tocado, right? I'm sure there might be another one in there, but those are worthless once you already have one in rotation. The thing about Marcus likes to get himself beat up and stuck in security or stuck in the trash because he turns into a Digimon and punches people. So pretty often you're not going to have a Marcus on field, funny enough, because you'll put him there and then he'll just go away. So having this to just do over and over and over again is actually really, really good. So really like this one in this deck. Inheritable here, the same as the Agumon. And there's my voice going. We'll see if it lasts. Next up, Greymon, we gotta have it. Security attack +1 red. This is a red build. You could run a yellow build. I just didn't like the control aspect of the yellow one as much. If you're not targeting things, if you don't have anything on field to target, the yellow build feels worthless. The red build, I could target stuff on field if I want to, or I can just have more offensive power. So that's what I went with. I like the red build just because I can have that offensive power, but I still got some yellow control going on too. So yeah, of course we're going to run this. When we got to run Greymons because just like with the Agumon situation, this guy Digivolves for 3 on top of a ShineGreymon. So we want to run your ShineGreymons specifically for him. But this guy's so powerful. I could not argue, otherwise. And he fits in with like the search power. So if you're looking for, if you're searching, you got to hit a Greymon in name. You're gonna want something else. I run something that's not this Greymon, but you're gonna miss out on your other things. Next up, the only GeoGreymon I wanted to run. There is the security one, but that one does nothing. If you don't hit that in security, it's just so worthless. It feels like you could hard play it, I guess, but it's such little payoff for a hard play. This guy though, goodness. Digiburst 2, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. If you saw the feature match, this literally came up. Good way to kill like memory blockers or Evo reduction guys. All kinds of different things like that. So, good way to clear small blockers. He's just kind of generically useful. So that's why I like to include him into the deck here. And he fits the name. So for the GeoGreymon tag that we needed. So that's why I went with him. He is just a 3 of here. I feel like he's definitely the weakest of the 3. So that's why he got cut a little bit. Next, we got the new ShineGreymon. So 3 Evo on top of your GeoGreymon here, or 4 if you're going on top of your regular Greymon. If you got a regular Greymon, we do have other Evo targets that work, but it's not all bad. But in addition to that, when Digivolving, if you have a yellow or red Tamer in play, gain 1 memory. So this is now a 2 Evo cost level 5 with some fantastic effects here. All turns, once per turn, when one of your Tamers is deleted, place 1 Marcus from your trash on top of your security stack face down, and then same inheritable. So even if you Digivolve on top of it, you don't lose this. And this ability is such a must-have for this deck. You don't want to lose this, okay? So absolutely. Digivolving on top of it, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to lose that. But they're like, no, we got you covered. We're making that inheritable the same thing as his main effects. It's like, sweet, thank you so much. Super strong card. We do have a backup ShineGreymon, though, in the form of the BT4 one. Your turn, this Digimon is also treated as a yellow Digimon back before duo colors were a thing. Does Evo on top of either color for 3. And then Digiburst 2, you may play a red or yellow Tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. And then Inheritable, when attacking, if you have a Tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for the turn. So a little bit of a yellow vibe going on there. This guy's just a filler until next set, until we get some more support, which is a lot of this stuff like the GeoGreymons that we're playing here and like some of the Agumons are just filler until we get to the next set. But it's still strong filler, okay? And it's on theme filler, so it actually works with our effects. So it's still a ShineGreymon. Playing out a Tamer for free is really great. And then it also combines with our ShineGreymon X antibody here. 1 Evo cost on top of ShineGreymon. When Digivolving, you may play 1 yellow or red Tamer card from your hand without playing its memory cost. Then if ShineGreymon or X antibody is in this Digimon's Digifusion cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for the turn for each yellow and or red Tamer you have in play. All turns, for each Tamer you have in play, this Digimon gets 1,000 DP. So play out another Tamer for free, and then do a little bit of board control there. So that's pretty solid, just a good follow-up. Now, the thing is that he's not pivotal for the strategy. You just need 1 Marcus in rotation, and then you're just kind of off to the races after that. Once you get that 1 Marcus, you're kind of in a good position after that. So playing out multiple Marcuses is a little overkill, not bad by any means, but once you have 1, you're in a really good position. That having multiples is kind of redundant. It just, in my eyes at least, but it is still just a nice little include to have. We just have it in here as a 3 of. We really just want to see either the old ShineGreymon, or more specifically, like desperately want to see the new ShineGreymon. And then to go on top of those, we have, of course, the new ShineGreymon here. Digivolve 3 from level 5 with ShineGreymon in the name. So again, that's when we chose the targets we did, including the old ShineGreymon, to help keep this guy's Evo under control when you actually do Evo him normally, that is. When Digivolving, for each yellow and or red Tamer you have in play, one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3,000 DP for the turn. If you saw the feature match, I did end up forgetting the second part there. It does, that minus 3k for each Tamer you have in play also affects the security Digimon. So when Marcus goes to punch security, those are all going to be reduced by at least 3k, maybe 6k, and then he himself, because of this next part, your turn, all of your Marcus in play get plus 3000 DP and security attack plus 1. So that's super strong. So not only is he now a 6k Marcus punching, but all your opponent's security Digimon are minus 3 to 6k also. Yeah, he's probably going to be surviving those security checks even. Really, really strong combinations that we got here. And then what I was meaning by if you evo him for a normal cost is because of this Marcus here. So if you're not familiar, start of your main phase, if you have a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in the name, by paying 1 memory, for the turn, this Digimon is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon that can't Digivolve. Now, it does say also, so he is still a Tamer at this point. He is a Tamer and a Digimon at the same time. Funny enough, he's not a hybrid. But also, your turn, when this Tamer becomes suspended, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow card with Greymon in its name in your hand without paying the cost. So attack with Marcus here, Digivolve for free into ShineGreymon. So good. So good. This whole combo here is just fantastic. So really, really enjoy it. And then, of course, I just kind of threw this one in because we have multiple ways of playing Marcus for free. Yes, we can play generics, but we also are specifically locked into Marcus on a couple of our cards here. So I figured for the memory fixer for the deck, I would just include the old BT4 one. It also does combo with the deck, because when you attack with a Greymon in the name, you can suspend him to gain another memory. So good combination with the deck. Just did a 2 of there. Don't need to go too crazy on it. I wanted a memory fixer for the deck. Might as well get one that I can play for free. For some options here, we've got, of course, Sunrise Buster, one of the most busted removal options. There's a reason it's limited to 1. Generic, play 1 yellow or red Tamer card from your hand without paying its cost. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn for each yellow and or red Tamer you have in play. We don't have a ton, but it is a decent amount that we can get there. Again, if we're playing multiples out for free anyways, there's a good chance that we've got 2 to 3 Marcuses in play during a game at one point. So Sunrise Buster, whether it gets hit in the security or you do play it out yourself, can be really, really strong. And then we have the new Sunrise Buster in the form of Shining Blast. Another 5 play cost. You may play 1 Marcus from your hand without paying the cost. So a little bit more restrictive. Then for each yellow and or red Tamer you have in play, 3 of your opponent's Digimon get minus 2k. So a little bit less powerful and more limited on, but it hits more targets. That's how they balance it out for the new card. All right, now for the kind of the flex spots. We got 4 essential flex spots in the deck. You could bump up the removal if you wanted. You could run like Crimson Blaze for dealing with those like Blue Morn matchups and things like that. But if you want to play this, you're probably just going to be playing it at locals, right? But even locals is pretty overrun with Beelzemon. So one of the cards I wanted to include was Omnimon X. I think this is a great card to deal with that, just because of its opponent's turn. When your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may trash 2 of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to end the attack. I think it's just a solid way to like slow down Beelzemon. Just keep putting them on the brakes, right? You don't want them checking security. You know, you don't want them winning the game. It's like, oh, they went Beelzemon X. Okay, trash all my security. Well, you still can't win because you still can't get that attack through because I got this guy on the field. So that's really nice. Now, you don't have any sort of Omni protection, not Omnimon, but just, you know, generic protection against option cards. So you do have to be careful if they do get like too out of control, like they can pop this guy. So it's not like an end-all be-all like it is in like a War Greymon or a Black War Greymon deck that has that sort of those inheritable protections to keep it alive. So it isn't just an idea of a way to handle that, but it's not the most perfect of ideas, okay? We also have Blitz Omnimon in here. We have a Greymon here. We have a red Mega that we can get on field for free, essentially. So the Marcus goes in, does some damage. ShineGreymon can go in and do some damage. And then if you're in that position, 1 Blitz Omnimon for game, it could happen. Might as well run it. we can add it off of some of our searchers. So that was another optional include. And then since we are only running 4 megas, we could argue running some other alternative megas. So I thought maybe some old ShineGreymon might be a choice here. It's really just personal preference. Like, he's not overly pivotal for the strategy. You don't get a ton of Tamers in play like you did in the old days, but you know, just a couple could really add up here. Just like 3 Tamers in play, you can essentially kill a Mega with this guy, so not too bad. And then he can be kind of beefy if you have those Tamers in play also. And then we have the BT4 ShineGreymon as well, which isn't a bad include just for some extra damage because this deck can be kind of slow in this format. Now again, once it gets more support, this kind of goes all out the window when we get new, you know, the new like burst mode and things like that. But when one of your red or yellow Tamers is suspended, which Marcus is going to be punching people in the face, this Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. So this can be another one that can hit your opponent pretty hard here with this, and then you can go Blitz Omnimon for game. So that was one of the things I was kind of interested in running as like an alternative, like an additional support. But these last 4 cards, like I said, are really personal preference. You could even maybe consider the last 6 if you really just don't like these options. Because you don't have enough Tamers for them, maybe. You know, whatever the case may be. If you just want to run straight Gaia Force and Crimson Blaze, go for it. But yeah, I think from everything from the Marcus before, like, I feel really comfortable with these. Like I said, I've tested other builds. Red Hybrid did not work. Yellow Hybrid is out there. That is a choice as well. But this one felt like the best out of everything I played. This was the most fun, the most spot on, true to heart build that I could come up with that was actually successful in playtesting and actually successful whenever I ran it against other decks. So I think that, you know, I'll stick with this build until we get new support next month. But this was a fun one to kick around with. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to go drink some hot tea, I think.